So we definitely got hit with a couple more blasts from the past. And it was interesting because it was people that weren't here when I first start watching. Let's talk about it. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop New York. This is season 10, episode 10. As I said, we got a couple blasts from the past that were not here when I actually came in. Jim Jones's mom, of course I know who she is. I know of her antics. I know her for her works. But she actually was gone by the time I started watching the program. Naturally, because I told you that before. Jim and Chrissy were gone, and Mama Jones were gone by the time I came in. Samaya came in this episode. She was gone by the time I had actually gotten here. So, yeah, real interesting. Very, very interesting. So, anyway, and then we also had a little Cisco showed up. I know who Cisco is, and I know him for his works, too. He's a hot mess and doesn't look like he's changed much. He's lost weight, but he doesn't look like he changed. Anyway, let's get started. Jonathan, Sin, and Yandy had actually went and they met up. Jonathan wanted to introduce them to his nephew, Derek. Derek is actually, he's handicapped. He was born with a handicap where he cannot walk. So there's only two things that's, they're talking about doing about amputating his legs, or there's a doctor who reached out in Spain who could actually do the operation for him to be able to walk. But only problem is it's going to be $160,000. Jonathan was going through this whole thing because he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. And the funny thing is he had it, is why he feels so bad, is that he actually did have it. But when he, Jonathan went through some stuff with some substance abuse and all of that, he blew through his money. He actually had that money and he blew through it. So he's feeling really bad about it. Yandy was like, okay, listen, this is what we're going to do. And they all decided to get together. Yandy is going to spearhead it, and they were going to do a fundraiser to raise the money, which is a jump-a-thon. It's a jump rope-a-thon instead of like a walk-a-thon. They're going to do a jump rope-a-thon. So they all, everybody took to their social media, and they blasted it out to get people to come to try to do this whole thing and raise this money for little Derek. So in the midst of that, Jonathan had actually met up with Chrissy and Kimbella. He's trying to smooth things over. Yandy's easy. It's Kimbella and Chrissy are the problem, okay? More so Kimbella, because Kimbella, during that meeting, Kimbella was still putting 20 on 10. And I'm saying, what's really going on, Kimbella? There's something that's not being said. Like, she's like, really, I mean, she don't want to be friends with Yandy. And she's like, making it be known. And I'm like, something's not right. Anyway, but Chrissy listened to what he had to say, and she said in her confessional, she said, I would rather write him a check than have to be bothered with Yandy. And I'm like, okay, so you all are so bent out of shape about Yandy to where y'all are not doing things and not showing up places because of Yandy's presence. Child, don't you know that's letting her win? That's letting her win. When you avoid things that you want to do because somebody's there that you don't like, yes, you're taking an adult approach if you don't know how to conduct yourself. And Chrissy don't always know how to conduct herself. She's a hitter. But I'm not going to let you win. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm not going to have anybody keep me away from doing what I want to do socially. That's crazy to me. But anyway, like I said, I still feel as though Kimbella's not saying something. She is still putting 20 on 10 about what happened at that brunch. And I'm like, it did not happen the way that Kimbella is making it seem like Yandy was shading. It really did not go down like that. Kimbella needs to cut it out. Anyway, moving on. We see Jimmy meet up with Mama Jones, baby. She looked good. I said, check her out. Had her little waves and everything. She looked good, but she had a house fire. She has her own show now, so he had came in and she was recording her show and that. She had a house fire, and he's building her a house from the ground up. The only thing she doesn't know that Chrissy is the interior decorator. So I said, okay, so this is going to be the plot line to bring Mama Jones back in, and it'll be her and Chrissy still going to be fussing. Because I thought it was real strange in her conversation. She's like, all I don't care nothing about the rest of the house. All I know is I want me a red door. Okay, Mama Jones, girl, here you go. Later on, Jimmy and Chrissy are actually talking, and they were trying to decide. Well, Jimmy was trying to decide whether or not to let his mama know that Chrissy did the decorating. And Chrissy's like, go on and tell Nancy. It don't make me no difference because she don't give a damn. She'll argue with her. You know, I was like, y'all get ready to make a whole mountain out of a molehill. I could just see it coming. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. At this point, whenever that conversation took place, this was later in the program after the Jump-a-thon had actually taken place, and Chrissy was having second thoughts and feeling bad at the fact that she didn't go to the Jump-a-thon. Exactly. You don't allow anyone to run you away from anything you want to do socially. You're letting them win. Learn how to conduct yourself and go on and do what you have to do. And the way you feeling, they'll probably be feeling that way, child, because you're doing too much. You're giving them too much power. Anyway, moving on. So, speaking of people talking with their mama, Rich goes and talks to his mother. And you know Rich's mother does his accounting. She does the books. So we got another view of this Olivia Rich situation. Now, Mama Dollars was like, what do you mean, Olivia, saying you stole from her? Olivia didn't pay for anything. She owes money. She didn't pay for nothing. She paid for no promotion. She didn't pay for the video, or she had mixtapes done. She didn't pay for any of that. Then she went ahead and did all kind of bookings and made money, and Rich didn't make any money off of that. Then she did bookings with Cisco, and Rich didn't get any money off of that, and she was performing December. So on both ends, they both kind of screwed each other and kept money. I said, okay. So, yeah, looks to me like they both did each other wrong. They should have had stronger paperwork, but they going off of that friendship mess. But, yeah, because those little bookings that she had with Cisco, Rich should have gotten a percentage off of that. And the money that he got from the single, she should have got a percentage off of that. But if they didn't agree to it properly, that's how they end up both screwing each other. So we're going to see how this all falls out. But Mama Dollar, something you need to meet up with Cisco, because Cisco is the nucleus of the problem. He's the nucleus. He's feeding her the garbage that's infuriating her and making her feel as though you are robbing her. So you need to go see him. And then his mom told me, you know how that is with you and Cisco. You know it's going to be a heated confrontation, so be ready. I said, girl, no, the mama didn't tell him, whoop his ass if necessary. That's what she said in so many words. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what it meant. If he get out of order, whoop his ass. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, so let's talk about the Jump-a-thon. It was very, very cute. Very cute. A lot of people showed that they were having a good time. Jonathan's nephew, he got a large personality, and he actually does have an Instagram page and all of that. So, like, a lot of people know him, and he just, maybe he was working the room. I said, look at him, honey. So, this is cute. And this is where we got a blast for the past. Samaya actually showed up, and she came in, and that's what she's talking about, how she literally has done well for herself now. She created a business, and the business has done very well, and she's doing really, really good now. So it was good to see her. the mayor's office actually came in. You know, Yandy did that. That was some of Yandy's work. And they brought a $5,000 check to go toward the money. They ended up raising over $97,000 for Derek. So that was really, really cool. Really cool. Now, throughout this, Kimbella did show up. Like I said, Chrissy didn't. Jonathan kept trying to put Yandy and Kimbella together. I'm like, stop it. Stop it, Jonathan. That's why you always in the midst of some shit. Stop. Just let it be. Let it be. If they are going to fix it, it'll just fix. You don't need to have a part in it. Go sit down. That's why you always in the midst of some mess. Sit your ass down. Moving on. Cisco, Rich, and Peter Guns. Forgot. Yeah, another blast from the past. Peter Guns there. Maybe they get in there, they get to talking. They sit down. That Cisco sits down. That's what I said. I can tell right away he lost weight. He looks nice. But I'm still looking at him. I'm like, he's still a snake. And maybe they get to going back and forth. Honey and Rich is cussing him out. Cussing him out. Telling him I never did that stuff, nothing like this to you. You backdoored me when I'm the one that brought you to the table. I'm the one who introduced you to Olivia. You wait and then you sneak in when you see that she's coming, wanting to get popping. You go and backdoor me and you start working with her. Then you fill her head with these things. And now she's feeling as though I'm robbing her. He said he never said that. He never said to her that Rich is stealing money from you. So now at some point, somebody's lying. It's either Olivia or Cisco is lying. So that they're like, well, why don't we have another sit down and we're going to talk about that with Olivia, because then somebody's lying and we can get to the bottom of it. And then Rich did something. I was like, damn, Rich. Rich called Olivia a bitch. I was like, that was kind of unnecessary, Rich. He called her a bitch. He's like, that bitch is saying that I'm so and so and so and so. Wasn't necessary, Rich. It wasn't necessary. I mean, because you can understand it. You're mad because she feels as though you've stolen money off of her. In her mind, you've stolen money off of her. And you're calling her a bitch. That's just kind of, say, slow your roll, Rich. Slow your roll. You're a little out of order. Get to the bottom of it. But I said, that's going to come back. Because I rolled it back. I was like, did he just say that? And I rolled it back. I was like, oh, he did. He called her a bitch. I said, ugh. I'm sure we ain't hear the last of that. That'll probably come out during the reunion. I'm sure. So y'all just remember. I was like, wow, Rich, did you say that? He did. Anyway, so then Jonathan ended up having this little thank you pajama party for all the girls. And everybody showed up. Well, not everybody, but Sin, Samaya, Yandy, Kimbella. Who was somebody else? Can't think of who the other person. There's one other person that actually showed up as well. But, yeah, so all the girls are there, and they start talking. So then they get to have this conversation, this dialogue with Yandy and Kimbella. And Kimbella's basically doing all the talking. Kimbella, when I say 20 on 10, that is an understatement. Kimbella was going off on Yandy. And it finally came out what the issue actually is, and there is an issue. She is angry. Angry, and it goes all the way back to when Chrissy beat her ass. She is upset because she felt as though Yandy and her should have jumped Chrissy. And this is the first time that I've actually heard her say it out of her mouth. But that's what the problem is. She's mad at Yandy and has been mad at Yandy all this time because she felt as though when Chrissy jumped on her, her and Yandy should have jumped Chrissy. And that's literally all there's to it. I said, wow. If that would have been me, we would have been jumping her. Really, Kimbella? And she was in there before she actually got it all out. She literally had threw a drink across the room at Yandy. And they were like, girl, what are you doing? Like, nobody was with it. They were like, Come on, this ain't even that deep for us to be trying to be physical with each other and stuff like that. Cut that mess out. And child, she kept on going, kept on going, kept on going, kept on poking at Yandy. And then she gonna tell Yandy, do something, all in her face and all. And eventually, Yandy did something. She threw a drink at her, and baby, they got to trying to scuffle a little bit. I said, oh God. And they broke them up. But that's where we left off at. So I'm sure that's where we're gonna start back at. I was like, well, I can't even say I blame Yandy because when she threw the drink at her, she should have bust Kimbella up because she wants to fight. So go on and fight her because she's just stupid. But I can't believe she's been walking around all this time. You're mad because y'all didn't jump Chrissy. That's ridiculous, girl. Go sit down. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all next week.